We've said many times on this show, people I think sometimes that they think President Trump, when they talk about America first, that he's some kind of isolationist. He's far from that. He's not an isolationist. He's not a hands-off kind of president. He wasn't like that in his first 4 years, and he's not going to be like that here. But I think everybody going nuts just shows, like even the reporter there, the questions. Well, they've already all panned it. Who's actually shown interest? Well, who showed interest in giving the Panama Canal back? Who showed interest in Greenland being up for sale? Who showed interest in bowing the knee from Canada? Who in Mexico showed interest in bowing the knee? No, none of those people, none of that happened. So what kind of a question is that? Like, well, who's shown interest? I don't think that's on the top of the president's list of, who cares right now if anyone's showing interest. Let's not rush into this and think, crazy things. I don't think you're going to find many Americans who think that we have some kind of interest here, that we want to see American money, American treasure, American blood, American troops on the ground in Gaza. Certainly don't want to see any lives or money spent there rebuilding this little strip of land that's thousands of miles away. I don't think most Americans would agree to want to do that.
Right.
But I also don't think we should be jumping to conclusions that that's what the president has in mind. Until we see some kind of actual policy details, all of this jumping to these conclusions and trying to outsmart Trump with what you think he wants to do or what he's actually trying to say, you have to assume, like everything else right now, he's trying to be transactional. He's trying to not be an isolationist. He's trying to put forth his ideas of what he'd like to see in a perfect world. Maybe it's plausible. Maybe it's not. But like we've seen from him many times, sometimes just the threat or the talk of something can help get to some kind of reasonable result or favorable result.
Or at least get somebody's ass to move. It's like you've got all these surrounding countries who don't want the Palestinians. What does that tell you, first off? It's like even they see the Palestinians as a problem. But beyond that is they're all sitting, oh, my goodness, there needs to be a two-state solution with Israel. Israel needs to capitulate. But you guys don't even want them visiting your country. What does that tell you?
Well, that to me could be the play that the president is looking at.
Yeah.
He's saying, listen, you got a lot of rich neighbors in the area, a lot of them, but none of them want you.
Right.
But if they could rebuild the area and in the meantime get rid of Hamas while they're doing it, and maybe something where it's like, okay, we've been waiting. No one else is doing it. Now we got this guy involved. Maybe he's hoping that someone picks up the mantle and says, we'll spend the money to keep them where they are because we don't want them.
Right.
But if we can de-radicalize it while we're doing it, maybe there's a play here.
Yeah.
Which, again, I think all of that is probably what Trump has in his mind that's on the table.
Yeah, and especially, when you see the history of that area, they haven't been able to figure it out yet. It's been like 100 years of them killing each other. So, obviously, what is it, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. You're not going to get that result. So it's more of, hey, here's a new idea. Let's see if this spurs people to go, you know what, maybe we don't want him doing it, but maybe we can take some of what his idea is and make it our own and make it look like we came up with this.